Good evening, everyone. How are you for this Monday night? We have some very interesting news for you, including a story about 23andMe that I think we're going to have to talk about because this is very concerning. And we'll go over that in a minute. Plus, the title track or the title at the top, a man we spoke about yesterday out of Houston who is accused of killing his wife, Krista, who was pregnant at the time. He got a $1 million bail. And we were sitting here last week, well, I'm the one with the microphone, joking that this guy ain't ever getting out of jail. He ain't going to make bond. And he made bond over the weekend and he is now out of jail. We're going to talk about that. So we'll talk about that in a minute. Laura T, good to see you. Hey, out of the replay crew, thank you. Marilyn Landis is here. Hey, my friend, it's good to see you. STL cards. I hope you saw the news about Ayuk today. Ayuk torn MCL and ACL out for the year. Debo Samuel has pneumonia and water in his lungs and is in hospital. Niners doing great. Hey, Carolina, thank you for your PMs earlier. I appreciate it. People that aren't on the new Facebook page, you can come and check that out. We've been hanging out. People have been messaging me. We've been talking and stuff. You can hang out over here, Nights with Ping on Facebook, talking about different things. You get replays on here. We had a video of that crash yesterday with that helicopter in Houston. Lots of different stuff heading on that Facebook page. Hey, hey, Moonlight View, good to see you. Moonlight View, you sent me an email last week. I put it aside. I was like, I'll email this after I finish the show. Forgot about it until this morning. And I was like, oh, no. Oh, she sent me an email last week. And I was like, oh, frick. I'm turning into Trish. I am. Good to see you, LMS. Hey, Lynn D, good to have you all. Are you guys all Delphi'd out by now? Jock, good to see you. Who else is here? Marilyn Landis, Laura T, Maria's here. Yeah, we started a Facebook page. I'll put the link in the. We're going to start a group too. The group will be for members of the channel and people who donate. I'm sorry to have to do it like that. It's just, it's one of those things. But it'll have things in there like documentaries I recommend, TV shows that I recommend, stuff like that, and some other projects that we're going to be doing. So that'll be interesting. But the front facing one, this one is open for everyone. You don't have to be a member or anything. You can just join it. It'll have most of the same information for free. So try and look after everyone as much as I can. But yeah, new Facebook page. People keep bugging me about Facebook, so we made a Facebook. Had a lot of fun conversations with people already, though. Had a lot of PMs. It's been an interesting couple of days on there already. So, all right. Well, we have Facebook and Twitter. They're the only two we have. That's it. I don't like social media. They're the only two I have. Yeah, I saw some of the updates on Delphi today that they previewed some of the murder scene. That's not the right thing. Crime scene photos today of the bodies. The families were shocked. I'm sure they've seen them before, but it's never easy seeing your child lying deceased in a forest. I think that it would be hard for anyone. And I heard that a lot of the people were shocked at what they saw on those photos. So we're not going to do Delphi here tonight. I'm sure people have had enough of that already today. We've got other stories to talk to you about in true crime. There is more to talk about in true crime. So this is what I want to talk about and start off the show. The future of 23andMe raises questions about DNA data security. And this is really pertinent to true crime because how many times have we heard that 23andMe's data has helped in solving a cold case? Many times. I want to talk to you about this. So apparently, 23andMe has been operating at a loss for many years now and is now reportedly at risk of bankruptcy. The company's privacy policy allows for the sale, transfer of customer data in the event of a sale, merger, or bankruptcy, which means you have no control over your data once that process is complete. What does that mean for you? Well, who knows who's going to buy it? What if it's an insurance company? What if it's I don't know, the cops? What if it's, I hope Othram buys it. That way they can integrate it into their systems. But who knows? Who knows who's going to buy it in a bankruptcy hearing or a merger? It's not a secure thing. So down here, they say that here, if you no longer wish to partake in 23andMe and sharing your data or having your data on their platform, they say you can sign into your 23andMe account online, click settings, and scroll down to 23andMe data, click on view. Once there, scroll down to delete data, then click on the red permanently delete data button. You'll then receive an email to confirm that decision. Again, that will permanently delete your DNA profile, except for any research you may have previously allowed, which 23andMe will retain that information. That was a part of your terms and conditions when you signed up. But apparently, in late September, the company's board of directors resigned, leaving just the CEO who co founded the business because she expressed interest in taking the company private, trying to save it. In published statements, 23andMe says company leadership is not considering any third party takeover proposals, but cyber experts say there is real value to anyone who could put together a legitimate offer for 23andMe's treasure chest of information. They say, I can see other companies buying that data, insurance companies to begin with, says Houston tech expert Mr. Torres. Says, especially health and life insurance companies, they would love to be able to get that information because with that information, they can project what's going to happen in 10, 15, and 20 years' time. Conceivably, if an insurance company thinks there's a good chance you'll get sick, they could charge you more or not offer you insurance at all. So this is a big problem. This is a fear we've had for a while with some of these DNA companies that something would either go wrong or there might be a break-in or they might sell something like that. And it seems to be maybe this might happen. Yeah, scheduleless, you can pull info back up. It's not permanent gone. I don't know. That's what it says here. Here. Fox 26 says here that they do have a permanently delete data button and that you'll receive an email to confirm that. They said that the only information they retain is any research they have previously used your data for. So that's what they're saying. I don't know. I don't have a profile on there myself. This is what the article says right here. I'll highlight it for you so you can read it a bit easier. I have here. Do you want me to make it a little bigger? There you go. For people on a mobile phone or something like that. There you go. I hope that's easy to read. This is what they're saying. Start by signing into your 23andMe account online and click settings, and scroll down to 23andMe data. Click on view. Once there, scroll down to delete data, then click the red permanently delete data button. They say that will delete your DNA file. Yeah, they did, but that I'm not sure if that stops private companies or that only stops like the Obamacare type, insurance from doing that. It is very scary. The fact that they're not able to float the company is very interesting. The Golden State Killer was caught by something very similar. I'm not sure if it was 23andMe or a different or the open one or something, but they that's how they connected him because he had a young relative that did it. All right. Let me see. Let me Google this for someone. Let's look at their terms and conditions. All right. Let's see. So CNET also has an article. They're saying, can you delete your 23andMe an account? They said, yes, if you use 23andMe for DNA testing, you have the option to delete your account and personal information whenever you choose. That's according to a 23andMe spokesperson that told CNET that once your request is submitted, the process of deleting your data begins immediately and automatically and can take up to 30 days to complete. But not all your data is deleted in 30 days. They're saying what data is deleted after you close your account. They say the answer to that is more complicated. Your 23andMe data will be deleted after your request for deletion. A company spokesperson told CNET the process gives you the option to have the company discard your genetic sample as well. If you initially requested that 23andMe store it for you, and your information will no longer be usable in any of the company's research projects. They say, however, there's more to it. They say if a customer opted into 23andMe research, their personal information will no longer be used in any future research projects. Please note, data cannot be removed from research that has already been conducted. Um, yeah, so there you go. They're the different contexts in what can be removed, what can't be removed. That's what they're saying. That coming from 23andMe directly. That's interesting. But if someone is deceased, they cannot withdraw. Family genetic stuff would be sold unless you had their account login and then you were able to get in there. Maybe you could. Let's see. Oh man. Carolina says my cousin did it and found a child no one knew about. Huge blow up. But I know a young man who found sisters he loves now. As a kid who is a adopted child who no longer has any contact with his adopted family either, it's an interesting idea to be able to find people who may share your same DNA. It's not something I've done yet. It is something I've thought about a couple of times, but I get it. It is, yeah. So there you go. Just keep an eye on this. I don't know exactly what's going to happen. They're not sure either. Um, the owner that is the only one left now, one of the co-founders of 23andMe, is trying to take the company private to save the company right now. So we'll have to keep checking in on this. Maybe just keep an eye on your account, and if the flags start going up about some sort of takeover or sale, I hope you action that. LMS says I've had a void and rejection my whole life, but definitely a scary process if they even want to be found. That is true. That is true. I can tell you that I've had enough rejection in my life that I think any more of it would be heartbreaking. So it's why I haven't done it yet. I know the benefits could be good, but the downside could also be devastating too. So, you know, it's a personal choice. All right, let's keep going. Let's talk about our title show. Let's go here to ABC4. This man, we spoke about him last week. He's Lee Gilley, or Gilley, 38, is accused of killing his wife Krista, 38, from Somerville, South Carolina, by strangulation. He had a bond initially set at $1 million last week. He has now posted that bond and bonded out of jail since then. He was released Monday, October 21st, and is scheduled to be in court a month later. So in 4 weeks' time. So that is really disturbing that he was able to bond out of jail on $1 million bond. Those type of bonds are supposed to be, uh, punitive and excessive so people can't get out of jail, but he is out. Here, I'll play the video.
New at 5, the Texas man accused of killing his pregnant wife from Somerville has bonded out of jail ahead of his arraignment. A public affairs officer for the Harris County District Attorney tells us 38-year-old Lee Gilley posted his $1 million bond over the weekend. He was released from jail today. Gilley is charged with capital murder after being accused of strangling 38-year-old Krista Gilley in Houston on October 7th. His next court date is scheduled for November 20th.
Let me see if I can find out how he raised that money. Let's go to the Houston Chronicle. Let's see if they can tell us why or who funded it. I can't find anything, but what I can tell you is that part of his conditions of release is that he's not even allowed to speak to his own children. So he's has to keep away from, I think, her family plus his children. It says here a man accused of killing his pregnant wife and lying to authorities about what happened is out on bond just days after it was set at $1 million. Lee, who has been charged with killing his wife by strangulation, it says here Krista's family said via their attorney that they were disappointed he was able to bond out so quickly, but will continue to honor her memory and remain committed to bringing her justice as well as to her unborn child. But it doesn't say here who funded it. His parents, maybe? Are they wealthy people? That is a huge bond to be able to take. I'm not sure if it was a cash bond or it doesn't say actually. Hold on. No, I'm not sure if it was a cash bond. It doesn't say. It doesn't say it's cash bond. It just says a $1 million bond. So I'm not sure if that means they could have taken something for collateral or it could have been a 10% portion. So it's only 100,000 in cash. Or normally when you get a cash bond, you have to pay it all. Yeah. According to the Harris County Assistant Attorney, said they were pleased with the judge's $1 million bond and bond conditions. One of the bond conditions state that he is not allowed contact with his two children, given the allegations of the children being at home at the time of the murder. They say here, Krista's autopsy stated she showed additional injuries and trauma to her face and neck. Medical examiners also stated that she had additional prolonged injuries and trauma on her neck and muscular injuries on her back. So it sounds like she'd had previous abuse of a prolonged period before her murder. But no, it doesn't say here whether this was a cash bond or like a 10% where you can only post 100 grand. Let me see here. Bond. Let me see if I can find the bond filing. Here, conditions of the bond. Let's have a look. They say he has to turn in his passport, have no contact with his children, no drugs, alcohol, firearms, and GPS monitoring. Plus 1 million. Okay, it doesn't say. It just says $1 million. Not sure. Not sure. But we'll probably find out at some point. James Avery says, I always thought 23andMe was a bad idea. One of abuse, anyway. Do they have other children together? Yeah, 2 children. 2 children. Shock says, I wonder if he's related to Mickey Gilley. That's an unusual name. Isn't he the guy that had the honky tonk in Texas? Like, in the in the 60s and the 70s, and that he had like a big honky tonk in Texas somewhere. Like he was a huge name, right? Mickey Gilley. I remember him. Like he had this. What was it called? Mickey Gilley's something. It was like this giant place where people would go and I don't know, line dance and drink beer. Yeah, I know Mickey Gilley. Quite a famous name. Not as famous these days, but I think back in the 60s, 70s, 50s, 50s? I think 60s, 70s. He was quite popular in Texas. Yeah, yes, they had the mechanical bulls there too, like heaps of them. Yeah. I mean, I think it was also in a movie. Is it Roadhouse? They filmed at Mickey Gilley's saloon or Honky Tonk. Is that I think they filmed Roadhouse there? Oh, Urban Cowboy movie. Sorry, I thought it was Roadhouse, but it's Urban Cowboy. Okay. Yeah, let's see if we can find a photo of it for people. For people who don't know what a honky tonk is. I don't know if it's around anymore. I have a feeling that I've seen it. It was on an episode of American Pickers like years and years ago. And that's how I know it. Yeah, I found an old black and white photo of it. So that was it. It's not a great photo, but there you go. Welcome to Gilley's. It was like a old school honky tonk urban cowboy, not Roadhouse. Okay. Ah, Moonlight View says I think Roadhouse was filmed in the Lake Arrowhead area in SoCal. Makes sense. Looking for love in all the wrong places. Yeah. Shock says I went to high school with Mickey's daughter. Really? He was also in the movie. I can't say I've seen Urban Cowboy. I'm sorry. I think that might be a little before Ping's time on Earth. I'm not. What year did that come out? What year did that come out? Let's have a look. Urban Cowboy John Travolta. June 6th. Oh, the 6th of June, 1980. Yeah, I wasn't even born yet. I wasn't even born yet. I was still 4 years away from being born. It was 4 years before I was even alive. I have to watch it. I haven't watched it, so The Devil Went Down to Georgia? Hey, Burnt Popcorn, how are you? Alright. By the way, I hope people watched the show last night because there was some very important information in the show last night. I'll repeat it again very briefly, and then we're gonna move on. Um, from November 1, there'll only be one show a night. The late show is going away, unfortunately. I've had a lot of emails about it, and a lot of people are very disappointed, and I'm sorry about that. Everyone asked, when is it coming back? Possibly. They've asked for a time, and I said, look, early 2025. I think probably around when we go to trial for Aaron Patterson, that's maybe when it'll come back. So maybe 5 months from now or something like that. But I appreciate everyone's support. There will still be a late show. Not a late show. There'll still be a 9 p.m. show every day. Just there'll be no late show. That's all. And it's for a myriad of reasons. It's not for a single reason. There's a whole bunch of different things of why it's not a single reason. It's not solely monetary. It's not solely this. There's a whole bunch of different reasons. Yeah. So this show that you're watching right now will still be on every day. Just no late show. The economic climate right now is it's brutal for everyone. I get it. It's crazy out there. Like, when I renegotiated my lease, it went up like crazy. I think that's probably true for everyone. Alright. Wait, are we on this page? No, we're on the honky tonk page. Alright, let's keep going. You wanna talk about the helicopter for a little bit, and then we're gonna talk about escaped inmates from North Carolina. I always like talking about people who escape from prison. But let's do a tiny update. I wanted to show you a photo from today. Someone took a drone photo from over the top in Houston. Not a crane. There was this, yeah, here it is. Click to Houston. Look at it during the daytime. Check that out. During the night we couldn't really see it because it's all dark. And look at all the stuff everywhere. I mean, what else would you expect? But you can see all these wires, like the guy wires, and it just looks like it looks like a war zone. It really does. And you go, "Wow, that was just a helicopter." It's crazy. Yeah, there you go. There's a photo from daybreak down there. You can see how far the fire spread across this block. I also learned something interesting. Apparently, there's a housing development, a government housing development being done in the block next to this one. And in their application permit, they said that the tower was not a risk to anyone and it was only 300 feet high. But that tower was almost 1,000 feet high, 3 times what they declared. And they want to know why they declared on their paperwork that it was only 300 feet high when it was actually 3 times that level. And you can see here, like, it just, like, that jet fuel just went everywhere and burnt up a huge portion of that land. Carolina, that is very kind of you. I appreciate it. I promise you, me saying I'm not doing the shows in November is not a cry for more donations or whatever. It's just a fact of life, but I really appreciate it. You know, when I started this channel, I said there was a set of rules I would live by that I would try not to break, and it was one, not become like a YouTube e-beggar. I didn't want to do that and become like some of the other channels. The other one was only talk to people who send in super chats because I hate that. I hate when you go to a channel and they won't talk to anyone else but the people who pay money. Like, I think that's ridiculous. Why do that? You're cutting out like 80% of your audience. Um, things like that. And I try to treat everyone the same, but I really appreciate it. It does help a lot. Thank you. It's very sweet of you. Yeah, it's just brutal. What they say here, the resulting fire from the crash burned 1 to 200 yards of grass in the immediate area of the tower, and it has since been extinguished. But it just looks crazy. It really does. The helicopter that crashed in the second ward was not a HPD, so not Houston PD. It was a private touring helicopter. Yeah, I don't know if we've heard anything more about the victims, like who this family were. I don't think we've heard anyone, like, any names come out. Just let me check. I don't think I've heard names come out yet. Just said it's 4 people, including a child. Let me just go here, past hour. Yeah, let's go to click to Houston. Apparently they got a new video here. If it'll play. I don't think I've seen this one. This looks like a different surveillance camera. All right. Oh, wow, you can see the light. Whoa. That fireball just lit up the entire sky. And then everyone rushes out of the home to go, "What the hell was that?" Everyone's got torches, look. I read a lot of people actually ran to the scene to try and help the pilot and the family. Look, you can see all these people running. They wanna help. They're not there to gawk or whatever. They tried to help someone. But apparently, when they got to the scene, the fire was so severe that they couldn't get close to the wreckage and they couldn't help. So they dialed like 911 and got the emergency responders were there in minutes. They heard it, saw it, had calls come in. They were there in like I think it was less than 5 minutes. But though a lot of people in the surrounding area heard, came out of their homes and tried to rescue them. The World Series is going to be good this year. Who's in the World Series this year? Who is in the World Series? Maybe I have to start watching baseball because apparently my Niners suck this year. Um, oh my god. Yeah, you're right. Oh my god, it's like the world oldest rivalry. Yankees versus Dodgers. That is going to be wow. West Coast versus East Coast. That is going to be a very interesting World Series. So LA Dodgers versus New York Yankees. That is going to be a hell of a series. It's going to be bonkers. Hey, Texas Roadrunner, how are you? Why was there no black box? Possibly because it is a private aircraft, although I thought they were standard, but it might not be for aircraft that are not like commercial airline. That might only be for people who are carrying passengers, but I'm not sure. Let's see. Did they find out anything else? No names still. It's very interesting. They just said 4 people, including a child, but we haven't heard who those people are. I wonder if they're having trouble not identifying them because they would know who owns the helicopter. That's very easy to track down. I'm surprised people already don't know who it is because those records of the tail number, that's public information. You can find it. It's finding out who the other passengers were that might be an interesting dilemma. Actually, I think I I think I have the tail number of this aircraft. Hold on. Let me check my downloads. I thought I did have it. Someone was able to find it on the Flight 24, like the aircraft thing, and they were able to find the tail number. I remember it's a type of aircraft. Here, hold on 1 second. That's right. It's a Robinson R-44 Raven II. And this is the Flight 24 profile here. So this is my own research here. This was the aircraft here. It's got a cover on it. So it was a nice brown cover. And it says private owner. It's a Robinson Raven R-44. What is it? Robinson R-44 Raven II. And you can see here the different flights it was taking. So it took off. I don't know if this is the one. Let's see. Can we play this? Is that where it crashed? Let's have a look. I thought it was going the other way, but maybe I am wrong. Because does that look like an airport to you? ATP Flight School. Okay, so no, that's probably not it. Maybe they've removed it. Maybe they've removed it now. Maybe. Hold on, let me fix this, guys. So you can stop looking at my ugly face. There we go. Maybe having trouble. Yeah, that's what I was wondering, if they're having trouble notifying the next of kin, which wouldn't be surprising. Because, who knows who it is. Let me just have another look. Houston 744 landed 7:52. What was the date? Yeah, 20. Takes a lot of flights. Like, check this out. It's always in the air for short periods, like Houston to Houston, Houston to Houston, Houston to Houston, like 13 minutes, 23 minutes, 8 minutes, 12 minutes, 3 minutes, 22 minutes, 17 minutes, 20. Almost feels like a flight school, doesn't it? It almost feels like someone's flight school or someone just taking a short trip across town all the time, like from one airfield to the other, like a transportation type thing. Like someone bought a helicopter just to avoid Houston traffic because it's weird. These flight times are so small, like 13 minutes and stuff, 3 minutes, 22, 17, 11, 11, 13, 4 minutes. It was only in the air for 4 minutes. That's odd. Yeah, I'm not sure. Landed at 7:52. Hmm. That sounds about right. But all right, there we go. An air taxi could be an awesome way to travel to work. I've heard of people that have bought helicopters that are like not rich people, but they're like doctors or whatever, and they learn to fly and they buy a helicopter so they can, you know, they have a practice that's across town. It's cheaper to fly the helicopter than a private, jet or whatever, and they just fly the helicopter and land and then have a car and travel back and forward between their practice and the airport. They get home in like 10 minutes instead of an hour and a half in traffic. I've heard people that do this. So, yeah, that's interesting. A lot of people brought up Kobe Bryant last night. A lot of people like this feels so similar to Kobe and brings up a lot of memories. Ah, maybe practicing touch and goes. You could be right. How much does a helicopter cost? You'd think it would have to be like at least a couple of grand, right? Should we look it up? How much can we buy one of these for? What is price? Let's look up price. Let's go to Aviation Trader. How much could I buy one of these for? Depends what year model, but some of them start, if you want a newer model, some of them start at 1.1 million. Some of the older models from the early 2000s are like in the 200K range American, so around the $200,000 mark. Some of them even get a little cheaper than that. Some of them are even more expensive. Like I can see here, I'll show you. There's this one that's a 2007 model. It's 800K. This is a 2007 model, and it's 385,000. What the difference is, Ping doesn't know. But this is the type of helicopter it was. We don't have a year model, do we? NK1 is I'll have a look. I 20th of October. I don't have a year model, but this is the actual model. I just don't have a year version. Like it could be an 80s one. How much do one of those go for? Don't know. It's a 2024 models like 1.2 mil. And some of the older ones are less expensive. A lot of 2024s or 2022 models on the market. Why? I'm not sure. You can get a 2015 model for half a mil. There you go, a 2010 model for 192,000. If that was American dollars, it's probably about 110,000 US. So depends what year it is. If it's like an old 80s one or a 90s model, early 2000s, maybe you could have got it for a good deal. So they seem to range in price depending on year, condition, and how much it has been used and what features it has. Very similar to cars. So there you go. That's the model. You think you'll buy one? I'll buy 10. Yeah, everyone go halvesies in a helicopter. We'll do a timeshare helicopter. That's what we'll do. So we'll all pitch in $20. We only need, let's see, how many people do we need? Calculator. So let's get the mid-range one, which is like 400 grand. All right. Let's go. 400 grand divided by 20. We just need 20,000 people to each pitch in $20. I think we can get there in 2075. Then we'll start our timeshare helicopter. And then we got to decide what city it's going to live in. We just need 20,000 people and we're in. And then we've got to find another 20,000 people to give us $20 so we can store it, fuel it, and maintenance it. It's sort of like a horse. You know, horses, they cost a lot of money to, people that buy a horse and they're like, I bought a horse. And then they'll tell you the horse isn't the big money that you're going to spend on, like, for a horse. It's the caring for the horse, hiring someone to run it every day, feed it, give it hay and water and run around the track and brush it and all that type of thing. That's where your money goes. It's not on the horse, not buying the physical animal. It's all the maintenance of the animal. And if you don't have your own barn, if it's a racehorse, if it's this, all the money goes on the added extras. Same with the helicopter. You can buy the helicopter, but all your costs are going to be like maintenance, storage it, airport fees, hangar fees. That's where all your money goes. Gayla says it was okay when I had a stable at home. That's probably the only condition if you have a stable in your property. Plus the cost for fuel, right? I'm guessing avgas is not cheap. If we're all paying like, I don't know how much it is in America, but down here, fuel is over $2 a liter. Hold on, let me work it out for you. How many liters? 3.8, so 220. Fuel down here, 1 gallon is $8.30. $8.30 a gallon of fuel. I don't know how much you pay in America, but it's over $8 a gallon here. You paid $3.39 for a gallon tonight in Arizona. It's $8.30 a gallon here. It's mental. The cost is no. I think that's right. Yeah, 1 liter is 3.7. There's 3.7 liters to 1 US gallon. We paying $2.20 a liter. Yeah, $2.20 times 3.8. Yeah, $8.36 for 1 gallon of fuel in Australia. So to fill up the car, it costs a fortune. Like, this is where I'm going with all this cost thing. Like, the costs have just skyrocketed down here. I think it's because we're an island, right? We're an island nation. All our fuel is shipped in. It's shipped in via like giant tankers, and so just everything's biting costs right now. Sean said my horse costs $3,000, but $500 a month to feed and stable. There you go. See, Sean knows. That's insane. I would not drive. Everyone here pays it. Everyone here pays $2.20 a liter. Oh, really? The show was booked? What is going on? That's so weird. Penguin, when I booked the show, no one showed up originally. And it wasn't until I hit the live button that people came. Very odd. All right, let's keep going. We're talking about rubbish now. We got to get back onto true crime. All right, we have I have no update out of, what's this county? Ping, what's that county? Oh, Gallatin County Sheriff's Office. I have no update. I was told there was a press conference scheduled for today in the death of Dustin, who was found in a tent near Big Sky, Montana, and someone had axed him or something similar to death, and his friend found him. I was told there was supposed to be a press conference today, and nothing happened. So I don't know if they're getting close to finding who did it, or they might know who did it, but that press conference never happened. There's no update. I've checked for it. The last information on Dustin was on Friday. So maybe tomorrow? Ellington, I think, Texas. From the map I saw, it was coming from Ellington. Good to see you though. All right, let's go to this. We have inmates on the run. Search continues for escaped Chesterfield County inmates, and they say they are running down every lead. Here's a photo of these fellas. Anton Conway Bennett, and it's Tyone Marquise McLeod and Deshaun Malik Fox. There you go, the three of them. They are on the run in Carolina, South Carolina. Let's see if I can find anything else about them. And they have they got this one, this fella. Emmanuel Rondo Planco was arrested after escaping. So there was originally four of them. They found one of them. They're looking for these other three. And they escaped last Monday from the Chesterfield County Detention Center. And they are still hunting them down, apparently. They broke out around 11 p.m. last Monday. Guards did not realize they were gone until 5 a.m. check-in in the morning. So probably when they go around and check on all the inmates sleeping at night. And it says here they have called in SLED to help track them down. And a Darlington woman, a 21-year-old, was charged in connection with the escape. And she was arrested last Friday. They say that the jail only has 130 inmates and is built to only accommodate 95. So it's overfilled right now. They've got 35 extra inmates over capacity. That is horrible to hear. The conditions should be better than that. That is not cool. They say we have them in areas that are secure areas, but we only have so many people and you can't watch everything at every time. But that is part of our investigation. We're going to look and see exactly what happened and how they escaped. All right, let's look up more information about these three since they're not going to give me a video. Anton Connor Bennett and Keon Marquise McLeod or McLeod. If it's like the NFL player, McLeod. 24 hours. Nope, they don't want to give me a... Yeah, WCIV, that's the one we're at. Let's go to WBTV. There we go.
Escaped from jail in Chesterfield County, still on the run tonight. Deshaun Fox, Anton Bennett, and Keon McLeod escaped from the Chesterfield County Detention Center 1 week ago. WBTV's reporting discovered they were gone for about 6 hours before anyone realized they got out. Now, a fourth inmate who escaped has been arrested. A woman has also been arrested for helping the inmates escape. We are trying to learn more about her alleged role. All right, time now to get a quick check. Escaped from jail in Chesterfield County, still on the run tonight.
I want to find out more about the woman who helped them and why did she help them. So let me search her name. Her name is Zayil Naharia Dixon. And she's 21 years old and she has been arrested in as an accomplice for helping them break out of jail. 4 inmates. Hey, I get it. An overcrowded jail. That's not cool. Let's see if we can find 6 hours ago. All right. No image of her, unfortunately. I was trying to look for if we could find because she's been arrested, but no image of her. Let's go to the Post. They say law enforcement have arrested a woman who authorities believed helped 4 people escape a South Carolina detention center. 3 of the Chesterfield County Detention Center escapees remain at large after more than 72 hours. One was captured in Richland County on October 17, 75 miles away from the detention center. Wow, they got pretty far. They say the Chesterfield County Sheriff's Office identified the woman as Zayil Nahara Dixon, 21 of Darlington. She was arrested October 16 in Marion, Chesterfield County. And they said she's been charged with aiding escape from prison for prisoners charged with a non-capital offense. So I don't know what you get for that. What do you get for that? You get in a lot of trouble, but I'm not sure what you might actually get. They say authorities don't know yet if Dixon was physically at the jail when the 4 inmates escaped on October 15. They said it's unclear how many inmates she had communicated with. They said it took a while to develop all this. They say 4 inmates were charged with vehicle theft and armed robbery. They were months away from release when they escaped from the prison. Seems like they might have like all they're going to do is get rearrested and then they're going to have to spend more time in jail. So if they're only a couple of months away from being released for Christmas, don't you want to go home to your families for Christmas? Now you're going to get caught in a couple of weeks. They're going to drag you back to jail. And you're going to be in there till next year sometime with added time on for escaping. It's not good. Dazzled by bad guys, yeah. Richmond, Virginia. Let me see. I'm not sure. They said it's from Chesterfield County. So let me see. Marion. So where is that? South Carolina. All right, let's have a look. So this is Marion, sorry. Let's zoom out. South Carolina, North Carolina. So it's right here near the border. It's sort of not too far away from the border, if that's the same place. That's what it came up when I Googled it. So it's not too far away from the North Carolina border. There's the border there. Probably what is that, about 15 miles from the border? Something like that? Yeah, 15 miles. Give or take Ping's translation from kilometers. Yeah, this is South Carolina, right? But there's a border up the top. I don't think it's near Richmond, VA. As close to your area. So, not near your daughter, more near you. Yeah, keep an eye out. Let me see, where's the county jail? Let's see if we can see anything. Chesterfield County Detention Center. Let's have a look. All right, so this is the Chesterfield County Detention Center right here. So if we zoom out, Yeah, okay, they're right on the border. South Carolina, North Carolina. So yeah, yep, they are very close to that border region. Oh, okay. The other one was Marion was like down here, down near Florence or Darlington. I don't know if that means it's the same county. I don't know, but at least where the prison is located, it says it's closed and opens 8:30 a.m. on Tuesday. We'll all go there tomorrow. It's a really little prison, right? Like a detention center. Does that mean it's only for court? So you get held there until you're arraigned to go to jail or sentenced, right? So they keep you here until you've had your court process. That is a tiny little jail. It's minuscule. That must be a courthouse, I'm guessing. I'm not sure, but oh, there's a Chesterfield County Animal Shelter next door. Of course there is. Another jail, but for animals. There's one right there. I have no idea why this place is so little. I guess this is what it's like in some places. Oh my god, a radio tower. I think we're all you know, a bit traumatized from last night. No more radio tower. But yeah, there you go. There's that detention center. Yeah. Planning a field trip, get your parents' permission to come with us to the jail. Oh, an hour and a half away from you? That's pretty close. All right, there you go. So if you see them in the area, look out for it. I mean, I wonder how many times people have gone, hey, that's that guy that broke out of jail. I'm probably guessing not too many. All right, let's keep going into true crime. I gotta try find which panel this is on. Sorry. One minute, guys. I have to kill this audio. Hold on. If there's one thing I hate, it's news stations that just play videos like automatically. They're like, "Hey, do you want to listen to 5 videos? Let me play them all. You didn't click anything, but hey, you might enjoy this while you're driving or at work or in the doctor's surgery, but hey, let us play all the videos very loud." All right, let's go. So, I'm not going to do any Delphi tonight. I'm going to let other people do that. I think there's enough Delphi in the world. I want to talk about this story. Humble man sentenced to life in prison for killing girlfriend's 16-year-old daughter. This story is horrific. They say a 62-year-old humble man was sentenced to life in prison on Thursday for killing his girlfriend's teenage daughter during an attempted SA. He attempted to R-word her, his stepdaughter, his girlfriend's teenage daughter. He attempted to R-word and killed her in the process. His name is Van Henry Brisbane and was convicted of capital murder for the killing of 16-year-old Lauren Juma in 2022. They say on April 29, 2022, the high school student FaceTimed her mum who was out of town for work and told her that Brisbane was acting weird. The mum sent her older sister over to the house, and when she arrived, she found Brisbane holding the teenager against her will with a gun. When the Harris County when the Harris County Sheriff deputies got to the scene, they heard gunshots from inside of the home. Brisbane was arrested, and they unfortunately found the teenager inside the home shot to death. Investigators later found evidence that Brisbane had tried to SA the teen. A Harris County jury convicted him after a trial this week, and he was automatically sentenced to life in prison. They said this defendant was a predator with a gun, and his choice to hurt a young girl and take her life was senseless and horrific. They said not only did he not only take a promising young woman's life, his actions have destroyed a family. He will not be eligible for parole. What a awful story. Look at him. Look at him. Look at his face of this awful person. Look at him. Ping, don't make jokes. Serious. Let me see if I can find something here. Awful story. I can't imagine that girl's final hours on earth with this person that was supposed to be her mom's partner. Someone she could trust, someone to keep her safe. And yeah, actually, let me take you back not to the sentencing because we know that, but let me take you back to when it happened, 3rd of May, 2022.
Bond is now increased to $2 million for the man accused of killing his girlfriend's 16-year-old daughter Friday. Van Brisbane is charged in the death of Nimitz High School sophomore Lauren Juma. And tonight, we're learning more disturbing details about the crime following Brisbane's court appearance today. Aniele Ruiz is here to walk us through what happened. Aniele, we understand there could even be some changes to his charges.
That's right. It all depends on the evidence that investigators gather. But we do know that so far, as of today, his bond was increased from $1 million to $2 million. It was an emotional hearing for family members of 16-year-old Lauren Juma and also for family members of her alleged killer. Monday morning was 60-year-old Van Brisbane's first court appearance after he was charged with murdering Lauren.
I love my uncle to death. I swear I do. But I will never be able to understand how he did something like this to Lauren.
That was Brisbane's niece. She was wailing inside the courtroom during his hearing, and a bailiff had to ask her to step outside. But the details of this case were very graphic to hear. Prosecutors said on Friday Juma was found dead with her clothes in disarray. They go on to say that Brisbane was seen pulling up and adjusting his pants while coming out of their home after 2 shots were heard. Investigators say Lauren was on the phone with her mom and her sister prior to her death and said she woke up to Brisbane standing in the dark room acting weird. Prosecutors asking for a higher bond amount.
Asked for $2 million. And the judge granted that? Judge granted it.
One thing his family made very clear, even though they're his blood relatives, they're supporting Lauren and her family.
People have to be accountable for their actions. If we don't hold people accountable for the things that they do wrong, then people will continue to do wrong.
His niece had this shirt made that says, "Here for Lauren," and she doesn't know how this could have happened.
How he could take her life from her, I can never understand it.
Just a very emotional hearing, as you can imagine. Now, the judge did ask prosecutors to rush the forensic evidence to see if Lauren was sexually assaulted. And if she was, there could be potentially some changes in the charges, and he could be charged with capital murder. But again, this will all be up to the Harris County District Attorney's Office.
So they must never have found that evidence that she was actually essayed. They just found out that he had attempted to, which is that basically the same thing? Attempting, doing, he wanted to, it's intent. Look, he's going to spend, oh no, he got capital. So they must have, no, sorry. They say Brisbane was convicted of capital murder for killing the 16-year-old girl. What was the evidence here? They just said investigators later found evidence that he had tried to essay the teen. So I'm not sure if he did or he just, the intermediate parts of it. Let me see if I can find anything on that evidence. I mean, not the gross details. I just want to find out, like, is that why they made it a capital charge? Oh, okay. All right. So they're saying that, yeah. So it was in the commission of in Texas, you have to get capital, you have to be in the commission of a sex crime. So there you go. He was, prosecutors say he was trying to R-word her. There's a nice photo of her, by the way. I like that photo much more than the other one. It's a very nice photo of her. It's a very pretty photo. They say the defendant was a predator with a gun. I agree. So he tried to victimize her while her mother was out of town for work. When her daughter tried to call her and say, like, hey, you know, something's not okay. And they're saying that Lauren's mother was out of town for work when she got the call and sent her elder daughter to the home to pick up the Nimitz High School cheerleader. Arriving at the home, the elder sister discovered that Brisbane was holding Lauren at gunpoint. Around 1 a.m. on April 29, 2022, responding Harris County deputies arrived on the scene and heard Lauren's screams for help, followed by the sound of gunshots. After shooting Lauren, he exited the home and was arrested. What a piece of crap. So he took her life for what reason exactly? No reason? Because you surrendered like a bitch. You did. You're like, hey, I just killed my girlfriend's daughter, but hey, arrest me. What a sad excuse for a man you are. They're saying here, inside the home, investigators found the handgun used to kill the teen, as well as evidence that he had tried to R-word the young girl. They say Lauren's pants had been pulled down to her knees, and Brisbane's pants were also down, according to Click to Houston. Lauren's sounds of anguish were captured in the body camera recordings of arriving deputies, which are not easy to listen to, according to Assistant District Attorney Katie Warren. And they said that is some of the evidence they would have to sit through during the trial, and that it would not be easy to listen to during the trial. They say the conviction automatically ensures a life sentence in prison without the possibility of parole. And it's not there you go. A real monster. Real monster, that guy. Oh, is this her? Can we see this? I'm not sure. These must be all her friends from Nimitz High School. She was a cheerleader, so. Going to like a cheerleading competition or practicing. Sounds like she had like a great group of friends. Like to keep active and do sport. There you go. You can see. Oh, this must be. Is this in Florida? They take them to Disney. In Florida, they stay at this sports world in Disney for cheerleading and other high school and sport programs. Not sure if this is the same one, but there you go. You can see her high school performing. Very cool. Yeah, the details of her death are traumatic to hear about. Shock says he's old. I wonder if he's done this before. That would be my question. Like, I can't imagine someone just wanting to randomly do this one day to a girlfriend's daughter. So what other women has he victimized in the past, and what has he been done with any crimes before this particular one? Sorry about the swear word, but it was literally the only word I could think of that would accurately describe what he did. He literally, how dare he shoot her and then walk out of the house calmly with his pants around his ankles and surrender. Man, it must take a lot of freaking internal fortitude not to pull that trigger, being the sheriff. It really must. You'd be like, oh, my finger slipped. Like, It must be so hard not to pull that trigger when you see him come out of that home knowing what he was trying to do in there. That's why they are the best. That's why they're trained. Because if it was Ping, I probably would have just pulled the trigger. All right. What a horrible story. Glad he's in prison for the rest of his natural born life. Never a chance at parole. Never. Good. Stay in prison and die there. Have fun. That's a nice photo of her too. It's a nice photo of her. Yeah, everyone's like, I would have too. Yeah. It must take all their mental and like moral fortitude not to just pull that trigger for real. I mean, they must have to come up against those kind of choices every day, and the fact that they don't, for the most part, is very says a lot about them. Says a lot about their dedication to putting people to trial and the justice system. Because, like, yeah, that guy really is just a pig, an animal, the worst of the worst. I mean, that mum trusted him to look after her girl while she was out of town trying to earn a living, and he took it as an opportunity to try and attack her. He's a rock spider. That's right. In prison, hey, to all my Houston inmates, if you see him in prison, do me a favor. Do me a favor, all right? All my guys locked up. We can do like the handcuff symbol here to all the guys banged up. Call him a rock spider. Call him a rock spider. You go get some Aussie jail lingo. Call him a rock spider, and tease him for the entire time he is there for the horrific crime he committed. Here's a photo of him. Find this guy in prison. Follow him around. Call him a rock spider. Do it. Do it for Ping. I want to hear stories. Someone email me. Yeah, do the the NFL guys. I'm not sure if they're allowed to do it anymore, but they used to do the handcuff symbol, like the locked up, cross the wrists type thing. I'm not sure if they're allowed to do that anymore. Only human animals. That's right. That's right. Chained up. Different from cuffed. That's a different thing. See, Ping knows his lingo, but that's a different thing. That's something else. All right. All right, let's stop talking about this loser. Very sad. Very pretty young girl too. Very pretty young girl. She would have gone very far in life, I'm sure. Maybe gone to college, done cheerleading at a big state university, maybe. Could have become anything. And it's sad because that's the future that got ripped away from her and her family. They'll never get to know now what she could have become. And that's part of the trauma, unfortunately. All right, let's get out of here. What is this? Oh, interesting. I just got sent this. So we like our documentaries on this channel. We're big into our videos and documentaries. LA serial killer Lewis Crane strangled 4 women in cold blood. Apparently they're doing a new documentary about LA. It's called Serial Killer Capital Los Angeles, and it's now airing on Oxygen. I'll have to watch this. I think this might be a good one. Guys, give me a second. I just have to grab Muffin. Hold on. All right, there we go. Yeah, it could be a good one. Could be a good one. Serial killer, Los Angeles. All right. Yeah, just got sent across my desk, and I was like, "Hey, we like documentaries." All right, let's get out of here. By the way, no new news on Susan Simpson either. Nothing. I don't have anything. No update. I don't know where they're searching right now. If they think they're close, nothing. This is interesting, actually. Let's look at this. We've done a lot in Houston tonight. Missing in Houston, 10 cases. Texas EquiSearch is investigating. They say for years, Texas EquiSearch has been working alongside law enforcement to help find missing persons across Houston. And Missing in Houston is spotlighting 10 of these ongoing cases in hopes of keeping their stories alive. What's his lady's name? Angela Marisol Diaz. They said she's 22-year-old from Houston, has been missing since July 1, 2024, last seen in the area of the 8500 block of Park Place Boulevard before possibly heading to a neighborhood in the Greater Fifth Ward. They say her father had hired a private investigator engaged with local authorities. Her phone was tracked to a wooded area behind the Fitness Connection off I-10 East just days after her disappearance. Her boyfriend reported seeing her around 11:30 p.m. on the night she vanished at the Moonlight Inn and Suites off Gulf Freeway. However, the last known location of her phone has raised concerns, and she hasn't been seen since. So if anyone has information on Angela's whereabouts, contact Houston PD or Texas EquiSearch. That's a photo of her there. Missing since July 1st. Hold on, I need a drink. Hold on. Right. All right, let's see who else is on the list. If I can get back to my my correct screen. There we go. Who else do we have? Corey Hatfield. Hey, I know this one. Corey Hatfield, a 41-year-old man from Texas City, Texas, has been missing since May 27, 2024. He was last seen in the 200 block of North Fulton Street in Texas City and may have left the area by getting into a vehicle. They don't have any direction of travel, nothing. Corey suffers from several mental health disorders and is in need of his medication. At the time of this disappearance, it was unclear what clothing he was wearing. If you see him, contact Texas City PD or Texas EquiSearch. Let me zoom out a little on his face so you get a good idea. So he's been missing for most of the year too. Let's see. Kaylee Goodwin. 29-year-old Kaylee Goodwin's been missing since April 21st, 2024. She was last seen leaving her home in Baytown, Texas. She was reportedly taken by a man now charged with aggravated kidnapping, but her location remains a mystery. Her mother received a terrifying ransom call shortly after her disappearance. Hearing her daughter's desperate cries for help, Katie may have been wearing a sky blue sundress with sunflowers or white hoodie when last seen. She has a distinctive tattoo sleeve on her right arm. Despite the person of interest being in custody, Katie's family is still desperately searching for answers and pleading for anyone with information to come forward. It shows you how many cases in true crime happen per year. I'm always on KHOU. I'm always on Fox 26 and other Texas news channels, and we've done shows every day, and I didn't hear of any of these. It's weird, right? And I spend all my time researching different stories from Texas, New York, California, Colorado, like hundreds of different places. I never remember Kaylee, not Katie, Kaylee Goodwin. Let me see if I can find a video about her here.
Night marks 5 months since a Baytown woman went missing. Loved ones gathered to pray for 29-year-old Kaylee Goodwin's safe return. There is a person of interest in the case who is in custody on a separate murder charge. Troy Kless has more from the vigil in Baytown.
A large group gathered here at Jenkins Park, where Kaylee's mom tells me that she wants to continue spreading awareness about her daughter's disappearance. In teal shirts with Kaylee Goodwin's photo is a message of hope. They'll never stop searching for her.
Thank you so much for loving Kaylee and her being such a lovely soul.
During a candlelight prayer, Kaylee's mother speaking to family and friends about her daughter, saying she wants justice for Kaylee. Standing next to Kaylee's mom is Donna Shaw, who says the two were brought together for the wrong reasons. Shaw's daughter, Megan Rouse, was murdered 12 days apart from when Kaylee Goodwin went missing.
My daughter was the same way as Kaylee. And they're beautiful children. They're beautiful children. Never should have been treated the way they were.
The man charged with Rouse's murder is Quan Flowers. He's currently in the Harris County Jail. Although Baytown police tell us he is being charged with aggravated kidnapping in Goodwin's disappearance, there's currently nothing in Harris County court records.
That's a monster.
Sad to hear about it. Sad to hear that she's still not been located, even though they have a suspected person of interest in custody for her murder. For her kidnapping. They suspect murder. But that is really sad. We're going to read over the rest of these in the late show. So there's 8 more missing people in the area that they need to keep an eye on. Here's a nice photo of Kaylee Ping. There's a nice photo of her. So if you've seen her in the area, or saw her at the time, which was, where is it? She went missing or was last seen April 21st, 2024. Last seen leaving her home in Baytown, Texas. And that's about all they know. If you have any information, contact the Baytown Police Department at 281-422-8371 or Texas EquiSearch at 281-309-9500. And keep her family in your thoughts. It can't be easy knowing you have someone in custody, but still don't know where she is. That is horrible. That must be one of the worst types of agony. Some families pray for justice, and then you find the guy, but you can't find your daughter. That must be extremely difficult. I don't know how you do that. Shock says, I grew up in Baytown. Yeah, I hadn't heard of her case. I didn't get a chance yet, but I will. It's on my list of things to watch. I have like a list of documentaries I watch when I have some time. Oh, that's no good. All right, I think we're going to start wrapping up for the night, but I will be back for the late show tonight. Tonight we do have a late show, so that'll be good. We're going to be back at about midnight Eastern, something like that. And we'll keep going through some of these missing people that Texas EquiSearch want to highlight and get their name out there. I like that idea. Keep the cases fresh in people's minds, hoping for a breakthrough. By the way, I want to thank my friend Carla for her donation. I saw the Ko-Fi come through. Thank you very much. She became a member. That is very kind of you. And if I can get back to here, Rachel's a member for 2 months. Hello, everyone. Hello. And thank you for being a member for 2 months. And Carolina sent in a super sticker. I really appreciate it. It's very kind of you. It really is. Yeah, so many missing. There's thousands of people missing. And then you think in our life, when you're walking around the streets, I always have this thought, since I've been doing true crime, I go, is there a body over there? could there be human remains over here? It really messes with your mind knowing that there's so many missing people out in the world. Because you're like, could they just be over there 10 steps to my right? Could they be in the bushland just there? So freaks me out all the time. Yeah, good to see you all tonight. Come back for the late show at midnight, and we'll keep going. Got other things to talk about, stories from Australia. We'll talk about some stuff from England too. We've got some stories out of the UK. In the UK. So we'll talk about that at midnight. So I'll see you then, okay? Thank you for the nice people who supported the channel, Rachel and Carolina and Carla for the membership into the Ko-Fi. I very much appreciate it. It's very kind of you all. And I'll see you in a little while, okay? All right? Okay, bye.